The effects of the financial crisis will be felt for some time in all our nations, and governments face tough decisions to bring their economies back into balance. I fully understand that defense cannot be exempt when governments also have to cut welfare benefits. My message is that governments need to cut wisely, because too deep cuts will make us unable to defend the security on which our democratic societies and prosperous economies depend. If we don't, then, first of all, we risk a divided Europe, where a few big European nations would become the main security providers, while other countries would lag further and further behind. Second, we risk a weaker Europe. Without the hardware to back up its soft power, Europe's potential to prevent and manage crises would be seriously diminished. And third, we risk a Europe increasingly adrift from the United States. If Europe is unable to make an appropriate contribution to global security, then the United States might look elsewhere for reliable defense partners. Over the past 2 years, European defense spending by NATO's European member nations has shrunk by some $45 billion, the equivalent of Germany's entire annual defense budget. A weak Europe would be a loss not just for the United States, but for the world as a whole. Europe simply cannot afford to get out of the security business. What we need is a new approach: smart defense, ensuring greater security for less money by working together more effectively. If we are to make more efficient use of our limited resources, we have to prioritize, specialize, and cooperate. We need shared defense planning. Of course, we must fully respect nations' sovereignty when it comes to security and defense policy. But such an approach would enable us to meet two central challenges we face today: how to manage the spending cuts we cannot avoid, while at the same time investing for the future. NATO could be a guide in this process by providing overall strategic direction as to where national defense efforts should converge. And NATO could be an enabler by connecting nations around concrete capabilities. NATO nations must work closely together as an alliance to handle this challenge to our security.